It is a no-brainer. Frankly, you want to be involved with films that people love and enjoy. And, you know, over a career, people tend to come up to you and say what they've enjoyed that you've done. And Kingsman is right up there for me. In fact, I was just doing a play in New York, and most of the people at the stage door wanted to talk about Kingsman. The Statesman, who happened to be the American version of Kingsman, and whereas we're based out of a tailor's in London, they're based out of a distillery, bourbon distillery in Kentucky. They all have alcohol names. They're all called Agent Whiskey, Agent Tequila, and the head is Champ, champagne. So they're a kind of mirror image of our organisation, and they come to, in fact, Merlin and Eggsy go on an adventure and realise through this bottle of bourbon that they discover that there might be a connection to a distillery in Kentucky, and they go down there and they realise that it's the base of the Statesman, and they get to know one another, and then they get to work together on dealing with the bad guy, in this case Julianne Moore. What was interesting about him was that he could work a computer, fly a plane, train new agents, as well as handle a machine gun. So he was an incredibly capable individual, but that was his job, being capable. He was kind of an NCO to the officer class of the Kingsman agents. And what's lovely about this is the move on into the second one that now gives him somebody to fall in love with. Matthew's made 5 films. All of them have made money, and all of them are really good. There's very few directors who start out directing and make their first 5 films be successes. It's incredibly difficult to do that. He has an eye for what is good. He seems to understand what people want to see in a film, whether it's the different genres that he's tackled, you know, whether it's Layer Cake, a gangster movie, Stardust, a fantasy movie, you know, Kick-Ass, which is more the world of Kingsman, or a, you know, superhero franchise like X-Men. He seems to know, or his personal taste seems to coincide with what people enjoy. You can do anything. I mean, we've discovered as actors, if you come up against a huge steel door, the problem of how you get through it is just hold your watch up to it, and then we'll believe that that works. Or if a guy gets killed, wrap him in some gel and he survives. You know, you can use your imagination and take the fantasy anywhere you want, and that's another plus about the film. It's not rooted in any kind of necessary reality, although there are elements of truth and reality that are the bedrock of the film. I think the joy of it is that you can take it anywhere. You have this almost impossible task, which is to repeat the first one, but be better. Repeat the first one so that people can see the relevant bullet points, so they can be reminded of and feel confident that they know the world they're in because they remember it from the first one. But it's got to be different, and it's got to be new, and it's got to go somewhere else. So you've got 2 opposing forces working there. You've got to create a whole new, different world that is even better than the one you created in the first film, but you've still got certain things in the first film that you have to keep in order to allow people to understand the world that they're in. So tone is incredibly important, because that's what's going to make the film a success, because people will feel that the tone is similar but has become better.